Shalom to our fans. This is Harold, Matt, and Tzvi bringing you some news from the land of Israel. There has been a killing attempt to Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Why would someone want to kill Netanyahu? Who is this lady? Is she an Israelite or a Palestinian lady? How did this happen? Matt or Svi, would you please give us an update on this article? Welcome.
Yeah, Matt.
Yeah, sure. So she's a anti-government activist from Central Israel, in her 70s, uh, conspiring to uh, go after Benjamin Netanyahu's life, um, as reported by Public Broadcasting News. There, she was approached by other protesters to try and acquire weapons, and was uh, basically she was trying to acquire weapons and information about his security, Netanyahu's security arrangements, wanting to know like where he is, what he's doing, what's a security detail. And then she was Israel got wind of this, of course, and she was arrested um, under conspiracy charges.
Okay. Okay. So she was a lady from. She was a Jew then. It's interesting. I would have thought that maybe a Palestinian trying to commit this attempt. I understand it's me that not the whole people in Israel are actually okay with the Israeli government. Obviously, right? I mean, how does that work, Tzvi, since you
Well,
have
you
how many
you
years
have
in
the,
Israel?
the history in Israel. We have had a prime minister killed already in 1995 following the Oslo Accords. That was Yitzhak Rabin, who was killed by um, a fanatic, an Israeli, fanatic that was against peace, so-called peace with the Palestinians. Ishaq Rabin famously um, shook hands with Yasser Arafat during the Clinton administration. And a lot of people in Israel opposed that. Now, for different reasons, a lot of Israelis also opposed Netanyahu. Yes, since I believe already 2 or 3 years ago, since 2022, um, Netanyahu has suffered enormous backlash in Israel following his controversial judicial overhaul plan, where he wanted to strip the Supreme Court in Israel of some powers. We know a lot in the U.S. about the division of powers, the legislative, executive, and judicial branches. In Israel is a little bit different with the Knesset, the parliament, and then the prime minister being from the same party of the majority, and then having only the Supreme Court to counterbalance some of the executive slash legislative determinations. And Netanyahu wanted to strip the Supreme Court from being able to have that kind of power, right? Having, in other words, unchecked power, that will be a little, counterproductive in any democracy. So lots of Israelis took to the streets in 2022, 2023. Then we had several elections until Netanyahu was able to secure the prime minister's office again. So lots of dissatisfaction from a large portion of the Israeli population. Then to this, you can add the war in Gaza crisis. That for a lot of Israelis is not only something that just happened. But it has to do also with, or they blame Netanyahu that it was even possible for Gazans and Hamas activists to infiltrate in dozens of places throughout the border. And because of the ongoing war, Israel has not conducted an investigation or a proper investigation about what really happened, how it happened, and so on. And now you have, an ongoing conflict with Iran, going into Syria, distracting from Gaza, and people already forgetting what originally happened, or that they were mad with Netanyahu to begin with. And recently, ceasefire agreement also with Hamas. Lots of Israelis discontent because of that as well, because they are like, okay, you already started a retaliatory war. You killed, tens of thousands of civilians in Gaza as well as activists. The objective was to overthrow Hamas from government. So you need to just go and finish the job. So a lot of people unhappy because of that from the other side, right? From the right side. So you have people on the right and on the left unhappy with Netanyahu. So these are some of the causes that could lead some extremists to go and plot an attempt against the life of the prime minister.
I see. All right. Well, Tzvi, thank you so much for the for clarifying that to us. And maybe a couple of two more questions before we close this segment. Matt, now that Tzvi mentioned this, the conflict with Gaza, the current situation between Netanyahu and President Trump, do you have an update on that? How are things going with them?
As far as I know, they're still, close. Still, working together on things. I don't think what happened with the, like I was saying with the previous broadcast with the church in Gaza, he Netanyahu did apologize to the Pope, and when Trump confronted him about it, he expressed deep sorrow. So I don't think there's a tattered relationship between Trump and Netanyahu. I think it's still a very good relationship between the two of them.
Okay, that's great to hear then. And one final question to you, Matt. How far, or it's even, how far are we into the term of Netanyahu in terms of his ruling in the Israeli government? How far are we on that? Is he close to? Are we close to elections in Israel? How's that going now? Do you know?
I think Tzvi might know more about
he
that.
He has served. I'm pulling it up because don't have it from the top of my head, but
Sorry about that. But
Netanyahu has served 3 separate stints as prime minister of Israel. The first term was from 96 to 99. Second term 2009 to 2021, 12 years. And the third term from 2022 and is ongoing. So he has been 17 years, almost 18 years as a prime minister, making him the longest serving head of government in Israeli history.
Okay. The reason I asked this was because I read this article about this gentleman suggesting that Netanyahu wanted to extend his his ruling also, because there are some legal issues that he may have to face after he's done with with the office. So just wanted to know that. Well, anyways, thank you so much, guys, for bringing this information to us and updating us on what's happening in Israel. We continue asking our audience to continue praying for the peace of Jerusalem, Israel, the whole Middle East, and the whole world, actually. So thank you so much for being with us today, and thank you for our new YouTube members that are being part of this new membership. And if there's anything else, guys, I'll let you guys go, and we'll see you next time. All right. Shalom.